Previously, upon getting a letter from Patron Ernell, Princess Lewellyn blushed at knowing that Ernell missed her a lot and then warmly cuddled the letter with a smile, contemplating when Ernell would return. Shortly after, Commander Tristan greeted her, sharing that King Bastion's Black Knights assassinated her assaulter, also mentioning that the king appointed the commander and his Red Knights as her escorts. So, let's dive into the chapters 21 and 22 of the manhwa, The Secret Bedroom of the Forsaken Princess. The exhaustion and demotivation are visible on the faces of the Red Knights because they do not feel anything like honorable by serving the princess. They mumble among themselves, complaining about how the princess is an unwelcome person even though she is a forsaken princess, and adds that Queen Pamela gifted the White Knights gold and hosted a greeting party too. Noting the word gold, a knight expresses that even if he was not expecting gold coins from the princess, cannot she at least speak nicely to them? Knight Paulo outbursts his anger by adding that he was wrong for believing that the princess has changed after one time when she helped the poor, but she is going to be demanding. However, a shadow emerges from behind him, none other than Commander Tristan, which makes every knight startled including Knight Paulo. After giving them a sudden heart attack, the commander orders Knight Paulo that he will be escorting the princess tonight. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. The scene shifts to a magnificent nighttime, where Knight Paulo tries his best to stay awake. But his attention grabs a sudden crash from inside the room he and his partner are guarding, turning the room into a complete mess with dresses and necklaces scattered all around. Queen Pamela shouts at the princess, questioning her audacity in making the Red Knights her subordinates. Moreover, she reminds the princess of the commotion she caused back at the horse riding competition, on which the princess gazes at her without uttering a word. Observing the princess's silence, Queen Pamela lashes once more, asking how far the princess plans to go. She adds by asking if the princess does not recall that she is unfit to have a knight under her command. In response to the queen's accusations, the princess continues her silence, contemplating why the White Knights haven't informed the queen about her recent sexual assault. However, she realizes that even if the queen was informed, it would not bother her at all. Instead, she would have enjoyed hearing her distress. Upon which, the princess replies that the Red Knights only escorted her because King Bastion ordered them to ensure her safety. At listening that her own son is behind these actions, makes the queen tremble visibly. To this, the queen yells at the princess, accusing if she trying to blame her for that. She adds that the attacker confessed that he mistakenly attacked the princess because of the sloppily dress the princess was wearing that day. In a fit of fury, the queen throws a black dress on the princess's face, by questioning angrily why would the princess is portraying as a neglectful mother to her son King Bastion, attempting to present her as a mother who does not even concern for her daughter's dressing choices. As the princess hears the queen's baseless claims, she ponders if the king has told her to watch that she dresses properly. On the other side, the queen throws another dress again in the princess's direction, and the dress crashing into the princess's face, slices a deep cut below her eye, resulting in blood gushing out from it. With this cheap act by the queen, the background fills with heavy chill for a bit. Straight away, the queen grins for a moment and then bursts in a loud laughter. Yet, the princess shows no emotion on her action as if she was tolerating this for a long time. Continuing her laughing, the queen states that she likes that dress, plus asks the princess to wear it to the king's birthday party. Further, she mocks the princess by speaking that there is no need for a present because a princess like her would not even choose a good present, ordering that the princess just has to dress beautifully, that is all. Besides, putting her hand on the princess's shoulder, the queen asks if she understood. In response, the princess with emotionless face affirms that she will make sure not to become a nuisance to the queen at the party. Upon hearing this, the queen rudely orders the princess to leave her room, reminding her to carry and treat that dress in her hand with care. With a smirk, she adds that the princess must not leave that dress in the hands of the maids since it is too precious. Outside the room, Knight Paulo becomes curious about why the room get quiet suddenly. However, with the doors open, the princess comes out, accompanied by two maids. Knight Paulo, at seeing the cut on her face, asks about what happened to her, to which the princess abruptly commands him to keep his mouth shut and to do his escort duty properly. Plus, she orders him to act like that he did not see or hear anything even if he did, after which the princess takes her leave, leaving Knight Paulo worried visibly. Knight Paulo then examines about what is happening and what is he seeing right now, since how can a royal member's room be more messed up than the rooms of a commoner? Moreover, he is perplexed to notices the princess's calmness after all the humiliation happened to her from Queen Pamela. Plus, why do the maids not carry her dress and act like everything is normal with her? Knight Paulo ponders that does this means this humiliation happens on a daily basis with the princess. The scene lands at the princess's residence, where she is sitting in front of her dressing table in her bedroom. Observing that the stigma does feel hot, contemplates that it is not to the extent that she needs another physical engagement with a man. By opening a letter, she states that if Ernell is coming back, then she needs to write a letter to ask him to come quickly. After writing for a bit, she stops for a moment and then slumps on the desk, muttering herself that she does not want to attend the king's birthday party, since she knows that the queen set something up in the dress she gave her. And she is not a fool to walk into a trap like this, owing to the fact that she is being treated worse than a maid. Yet being the subject of people's bickering is still hard for her. Moreover, she cannot put aside the certainty of Duke Almondite's presence at the banquet as well. Eventually, she gets surprised at the shouting of the knights outside her bedroom. Further, as the doors open, she finds the Duke, who tries to enter her room although the knights block his path, announcing to him that he cannot enter without any permission. On which, the Duke gets furious, shouting at the princess by asking why did she not contact him immediately. Noting the commotion, the princess stands from her chair and orders the knights to let the Duke come inside, by asking the knights to leave her room quickly, after which, the Duke and the princess find themselves alone in the room. The princess swiftly asks the Duke about what does he wants to say late at night. The Duke, not uttering a word, takes his steps beside from the princess, and, as he sinks on the sofa in front of him, he states to the princess that he is here to talk about her attack in the palace that happened few days ago. Upon which, the princess questions about why is he taking it seriously when it is none of his business. Shocked, the Duke responds asking what does she means that it does not matter to him. But by halting his words, the Duke's eyes grab the attention of the princess's face, inquiring about how she got that wound on her face. The princess covers the wound swiftly and states that it is nothing usual since it is common for her. Noting the words common thing, the Duke reminds that how can she say it is common because the queen had the maid sentenced to death when the princess had a small wound on her finger. The Duke further evokes that does the princess know how preciously she was raised. Plus, he adds that in the past, even he gets worried every day just in case she got a small scratch. As she is listening his emotional statement silently, she gets a sudden shock at witnessing the swollen eyes of the Duke, which are going to burst into tears any moment, which startled the princess visibly, who ponders that why the Duke is crying. By gritting her teeth, she furiously reflects why the Duke is sympathizing with her now. Eventually, she shouts at the Duke asking why is he becoming sad for her distress. The princess adds that she does not have time to look at the Duke's cry, asking him to leave the room immediately. On which, the Duke stands abruptly from the sofa and interferes the princess, expressing that she is not someone who should receive this kind of treatment. The Duke then leads his steps closer to the princess. He then reaches out his hands towards the princess, calling her as my dear princess. The princess gets flustered as she gets a soft kiss on the back of her hand by the Duke. With tears rolling down from his eyes, the Duke states that he has already decided to go to hell for the princess, because he would not let her to live a miserable life like this anymore. By coming out of her room, the Duke promises that he is going to punish all the culprits of the princess. With crackles and rumbles outside the window in the background, the Duke orders his attendant that the time has come for them to start their plans. The plan that is going to set everything right for the princess. From here, the scene again roll down to the princess's residence late at midnight, where the princess is already on her bed. By gazing at her hand that is raised up, she asks herself about why she gets flustered just from the Duke's kiss on the back on her hand. She adds that although there is some time before the stigma gets active, then why her heart is throbbing fast. And, is it because of the Duke's touch? However, she suddenly clasps her hand, reminding herself that she does not need a man like him to subside the stigma. Further, by picturing the Duke's crying face from before, she asks herself about if he felt sorry for her, or was he simply being apologetic. Still, the princess turns to one side, adding that whatever is the meaning of his tears, she does not need to concern herself with it, after which she goes to sleep. But after so many tries, she cannot make herself to fall in sleep, because the words and the image of the Duke are continuously revolving in her mind. By clenching her pillow, she ponders that she tried to kill the part of her that foolishly imagined the Duke coming back over and over again, but unable to do it. Trembling, she adds that the Duke has never been there during her toughest times when she needed his help the most. Plus, she will never forgive the Duke, at least for the sake of her mother and little brother Alpheus. And, she determined that she will never lower her guard around the Duke, even for a moment, no matter what the situation will be. Eventually, after this, she falls into a deep sleep. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.